We condemn in the strongest possible terms this egregious display of hatred, bigotry, and violence on many sides. On many
sides. You're talking about the bigotry of this white guy who just ran down innocent people, Donald Trump, on many sides. This is what you're talking about. You're talking about David Duke, who pretty much wants to eradicate everybody, along with this asshole.
Don't have the camaraderie. We don't have the trust level that our rivals do. And that camaraderie and trust is built up through activism. And that is...
Listen to what this jerk-off says.
So Donald Trump, but like more racist.
A lot more racist than Donald Trump. I don't think that you could feel about race the way I do and watch that Kushner bastard walk around with that beautiful girl, okay? You can remember Dylan Roof's name. You can remember Tim McVeigh's name.
White people were capable of violence.
I didn't say capable. Of course we're capable. I'm carrying a pistol.
Oklahoma City.
Okay, so exactly. You have to go back to Oklahoma City to talk about a white act of terrorism,
Roger,
right?
Dylan Roof.
Okay, so now you've managed to name 3 people, and I'm pretty sure Elliot Rodger wasn't explicitly.
You get into, as you said, the racial stuff.
When the Trayvon Martin case happened, you know, Michael Brown and Tamir Rice and all these different things happen, every single case, it's some little black asshole behaving like a savage, and he gets himself in trouble, shockingly.
Wait a minute. I want to hear that again.
Trayvon Martin case happened, you know, Michael Brown and Tamir Rice and all these different things happen, every single case, it's some little black asshole behaving like a savage, and he gets himself in trouble, shockingly.
Okay, so Tamir Rice was playing with a BB gun in a park where kids play at. That's what he was doing. And the cops saw him, and they rolled up into the park, and they shot him in 2 seconds. This was a child playing with a BB gun in a park where children play at. Okay, Michael Brown was walking in the street, and when he was told not to walk in the street, which is what they do, we all do that. We walk in the street, you know, and there's not a lot of cars coming. We walk in the street. Cop tells him to get out of the street, and then the cop goes past Michael Brown. Then he backs up and tells him to get out the street. And of course he was gonna get out the street. And then the cop opens up the door and hits Michael Brown with the door. Michael Brown was not a small person. And of course the door bounces back to him. And then the cop pretty much pulls out his gun. Michael Brown is on his knees begging for his life. And the cop shoots him 11 times. Tamir Rice was shot within 2 seconds. You can see it in the video. They rolled up and shot a 13-year-old boy in 2 seconds. They didn't even tell him, freeze, or I'll shoot, or put the gun down. They gave him no instructions. Michael Brown was shot on his knees, and he was shot in the head, execution style, on his knees. I'm failing to understand how these children can just be executed and they're the ones who are taking the blame. I just don't understand how 2 grown-ass cops can just jump out of a car and shoot a 13-year-old boy who's playing in the park with BB guns. White people, their children play in wherever with BB guns. Do it all the time. But this 13-year-old boy gets executed because he has a BB gun. This is what you're saying? And in the case of Zimmerman, when Zimmerman killed the young man, he went to the store to get a pack of Skittles. He was walking away, and Zimmerman stalked him. He stalked him. And he said the kid looked like he was doing something because he had a hoodie on. and he did absolutely nothing. And even when he called the police, he said they always get away with it. Zimmerman jumps out the car, starts a fight with him, and is losing and shoots this kid in the chest when he was just walking down the street. So I'm curious. I'm curious to know the definition of savage to you, white racist asshole. I'm just curious to what savage is. Because you're the one walking around with a tiki torch like you're hunting Hermit and the freaking monster, like you're going to Frankenstein's freaking castle to kill the monster, and Frankenstein, Frankenstein's monster is just like, I ain't do nothing. I'm just up here just because I look different than you. I didn't do anything. I ain't did nothing to none of y'all. So why are y'all coming to burn my house down? Because they're different. Because he looks different. Because we look different. That's all that's to it. Tamir Rice, Michael Brown, they got killed because they look different. They look different than you, so they're savages. And then you assholes got the nerve to think that you're the one who built America. America was built by your forefathers? Really? Was it? It was built by your forefathers. Your forefathers who came over here and killed millions of Indians and took over their land. Them forefathers who slaughtered people in broad daylight. How about Wounded Knee? You guys want to call it the Battle of Wounded Knee, but it wasn't a battle. Then you made a fake movie about it and said that the whole thing started because one of the Indians was deaf and they were wrestling over a gun, and he didn't understand to put the gun down, and accidentally the gun went off, and then you guys come and you killed 200 Indians because of a deaf mute Indian, which was a damn lie. Won't you say what really happened at Wounded Knee? You guys slaughtered all their Indians because you wanted their land. Just like you did to a bunch of black farmers who were slaves at one time, but then they were set free. But they had the right to their land, and you came and hung them. And you killed the black farmers, men, women, and children, and took their land. The last time that happened was in 1996. I believe so. Hung a man and you took his land. And he was hung by police. So I'm wondering who the real savage is. Some kid playing in a park where kids play with a BB gun and get shot by two grown-ass men to death in 2 seconds. I'm wondering who the savage is. You running around with a gun or some kid walking to the store to get a pack of Skittles. And by the way, if you want to say Michael Brown was a savage because of the whole incident and he was stealing those cigarillos or whatever he had, actually he wasn't. He had to deal with those guys. And he was coming to take what was his. Okay? Michael Brown was not innocent. He might have been a badass little kid, but why does that sentence him to death? Okay? Why did Tamir Rice have to die? All right? I'm not trying to hear it. You guys are the ones who's running around here with tiki torches, acting like you about to burn somebody down. Lying asshole.
Different things happen every single case. It's some little black asshole behaving like a
Black asshole. You white faggot. Bastard, punk ass. Probably can't fight worth a damn.
Brown and Tamir Rice and all these different things happen every, Michael Brown and Tamir Rice and all these different things.
As you said, the racial stuff.
When the Trayvon Martin case happened, Michael Brown and Tamir Rice and all these different things happen every single case. It's some little black asshole behaving.
I hope they haunt you tonight. That's what I hope. Trayvon Martin wanted to get some damn Skittles. Only reason why he was killed is because Zimmerman knew he'd get away with it. That's it. Listen to this asshole.
We're showing to this parasitic class of anti-white vermin that this is our country. This country was built by our forefathers and sustained by us.
That's a damn lie. This country was not built by your forefathers. This country was built on the backs of slaves. It was an economic system built on the backs of slaves. That's what it was built from. Your forefathers fled from England. They fled from the so-called tyranny of the queen because she was going to hang you. So your forefathers came over here, killed a bunch of Indians who were pretty much minding their own damn business, living off of the land. You know, then you came over here and built this whole industry and all this other stuff, and you're killing the land like a damn parasite. Then you went and got a bunch of damn slaves, and you enslaved a bunch of people, dark-skinned people, anybody who doesn't look like you. They look different than you kill them. They think different than you kill them. You know what I'm saying? Had hundreds and thousands and thousands and thousands, millions of slaves. Black people. All right? Wasn't built by your forefathers. Get the hell out of here with that. Bunch of lies. Your forefathers. Your punk ass. Guys are always inciting some type of violence. Always. You don't know nothing about peace. This woman gets ran over and killed, and one of you said, you know, you were happy she got killed.
Fuck is here. And now we got bodies on the ground, and they trying to revive somebody right now.
This is what you like. You don't want peace. This is what you want. Anarchy. Corruption. Murder. That's what you want. You don't want peace. If you were, you wouldn't be walking around with a pistol. Don't want nothing to do with peace. You don't like anybody that doesn't look like you. This is what you want. Desperation. Murder. You don't want peace. You don't want peace. And this asshole, whose group that Donald Trump will not denounce, KKK, known for hanging over 4,000 people. And by the way, 1,000 of those people were white. Just to let you know. And that's just the hangings. That's not including what the police do. The KKK, who are part of the police department. And don't tell me they're not, because in this city, they actually ride down the street in the hoods. I've seen it in a parade and on Martin Luther King Day. You had everything black and Martin Luther King, and then they had a whole float of police officers in KKK outfits. That happened right here in my city. Yelling at black people. You guys don't want peace. That's not what you want. And you talk about your country. Okay, fine. Your country, right? Let's just say that all the black people, all the Mexican people, and everybody else who's not from this country, even though you're not from this country, left all you white people here. Do you think there would be peace? The answer is no. Because you would find something wrong with another white person and just go ahead and try to enslave them. Put them in jail for smoking marijuana, which you openly smoke and sell. Have a whole city that does it. But if a black person, if you walk up to a black person, if a police say, oh, you smell like you look like you smoke weed. All of a sudden, this person, get out the car. I don't smoke weed. You look like you smoke weed. Wait a minute. You got white people smoking weed all day right in front of you. And you're like, yeah, it's for my glaucoma. They don't have no prescription for that. All day, right in front of you. You don't give a damn. But you got black people getting shot and killed for what they think they have. Oh, it was a white powdery substance. Well, what was it? Was it cocaine? Was it sugar? Was it baking soda? Was it sand? What was the constitution of the white powdery substance? You guys are out your damn mind. You're just delusional.
Like all group, well, we get in the car. Let's get
We're going.
We had speaking permits.
Say hello
We had,
to your
they,
two
they wouldn't even let us hook up our microphones and our speakers because they don't want our speech because we're telling the truth.
You're telling the truth? There is no truth in you. There's not one bit of truth in you. The truth is you guys are a bunch of murderers. That's it. You're a bunch of racist ass murderers. And you hate everything. You hate the Zionist Jews, but the Zionist Jews, they don't even run the country. They run the whole freaking world because they control the banks. The 7 families control the banks. They control the oil. You know, the World Bank is controlled by Zionist Jews. The music industry, Hollywood, that's all Zionist Jews. Who are you fighting against? Really? I mean, if you really want to break it down to descendants, David Duke, your descendants most likely came from England, maybe? Something like that? Your descendants? The Zionist Jews came from Russia. They're Russian Ascasians. That's who they are. Okay? Well, you know, and then you got to think about it. You're supposed to be fighting the government, right? Okay, the government who sent billions of dollars to Jerusalem. Who's in Jerusalem? The Zionist Jews. Like the fight that you're fighting, you're not even close to winning. It's so beyond you. But yet, you want to go around spout nonsense about gays, you know, and blacks, and Mexicans, you know, this is what you want to do because you think that white America would be purified if the gays, the lesbians, the Mexicans, the transsexuals, the black people, and every other race, the people from India, the Aborigines, I mean, whoever you can think of that are here, the Africans, the Asians, because you're about to start doing stuff to them too. You're about to start killing a bunch of them again. You believe that America will be purified. Listen, it would be easier for the white supremacists to get on a plane and go back to England than it would be for them to so-called purify America.